Alright guys, we're going to give you guys some instructions on how to make this foldable that we're going to do. It's probably easiest doing it with a video, so that's why I'm making the video. And I'm doing it during school, so you might hear some bells. But first thing you need to do with your piece of paper is we're going to fold it. So the way you're going to fold it is from top to bottom. You're just going to fold it in half. So you take the top, fold it about halfway down. It's called a hamburger fold because it'll be fat like a hamburger bun still. So first thing you need to do is fold your paper in half. And I'll show you this in class too. Okay, now that you've got your paper folded, it should look something like this, about half the size of what it was before. Then you're going to title it, and on the front fold, you're going to write mechanical waves. You can make this as pretty as you want, or you can do it simple like mine. You will turn this in. You may put some of the better ones up in class over here on the sidewalk. So you make it as pretty as you want. So that's what goes on the front, just saying mechanical waves. Okay, now you can unfold your paper again. So you should have a top fold and a bottom fold. This is on the inside. Alright, at the top, you are going to make a transverse wave. You can do this two different ways. You can either draw it, or you can lay it out with some string. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw mine because I'm using a smartboard. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to put a line across the middle of your top fold, and this line is your median line. Median just means it's in the middle. Alright, so this will be where your wave starts. This will be what you measure from. So my wave is going to start right here on this median line. Alright, the next thing you need to do is you're going to measure an amplitude. So remember, amplitude is the height above the median line and how far below it goes. Alright, so I'm going to make mine. I'm going to get a ruler real quick. Okay, so I've got my ruler now. You guys can't see this, but I'm going to measure 2 inches up. Alright, so I'm actually laying the ruler on the board right now, which you cannot see. But 2 inches up is about here. So that's how high up my wave's going to go, and then it's going to be the same going down, about 2 inches. So right here. So 2 inches above, 2 inches below my median line. Alright, the next thing I want to do, and when you guys make your amplitude, it just needs to be less than about 2.5 inches. So if you want to make it 1 inch, that's fine. Just measure it, make you a little line. If you want to make it 1.5 inches, that's fine. Just measure it, make the line. And that'll be above and below this median line. Okay, that's your amplitude, how high and low the wave goes. Alright, the next thing you want to measure is your wave length. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my first wave here. Alright, so I go up to the top, and this top part is called the crest. Then I'm going to go back down. Alright, go down here to the bottom, my 2-inch line, come back up. Alright, now before I start coming all the way back up, I need to decide how far apart I want each wave. So I need to measure the wavelength. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm using my ruler again. When you measure your wavelength, you just need to make it less than about 3 inches. If you make it more than that, you just won't have very many waves. So make it about, 1 to 2 to 2.5, maybe 3 inches. So I'm going to make mine 3 inches. Alright, so that means from the top of this wave to the top of the next wave, about 3 inches. So that would make my next wave right here. Alright, so I'm going to have to back up a little bit. Erase some so my wave doesn't look too funny. And you may have to do this either by drawing it or using the string. You may have to move it around. Alright, so now I'm going down to here, coming back up to here. Alright. Now, if the wavelength of my first wave is 3 inches, that means all the way across, all the waves, top of the line and below the line, are going to be 3 inches apart. So I'm going to go and make marks every 3 inches here across the top. So these are going to be the crests of all my waves. Same thing on the bottom. I'm going to make marks every 3 inches. will be the troughs of my waves. Alright, so then I can connect all the dots. My wave is going to look like this. And then just finish it out. Off the end. Alright, and if you laid it out with string, you just need to tape it at different places. If you're drawing it, you can do just like I did and just connect the dots. Okay, and there is our transverse wave. Alright, once you have it drawn, then you just need to label it. So you need to point an arrow to the top. What's the top called? Point an arrow to the bottom. What's the bottom called? We talked about this. Alright, you got an arrow here telling me how high up the wave is, so you need to label that. What's that called? Alright, then you need to label this middle line. What did we say that's called? Alright, then you need to label the other parts of the wave. So from one wave to the next, what's that called? Alright, so you need to draw arrows and label that. Because one of the things you have to know on our test and on the EOC is all different parts of the wave. Okay, then down on the bottom, you are going to make a compression wave. Or remember, it can also be called a longitudinal wave. But I'm going to call it a compression wave. Alright, when you're making this guy, this is going to be a little bit easier because you're going to have to draw this one. Alright, you are not going to be able to really do it with string really well. You could try, but it's going to be hard. Again, you're going to make a median line here in the middle. Alright, that's going to be the middle point of your wave. Okay, then the way we draw this one is a lot simpler because you won't really have to worry about the amplitude as much. When you draw it, remember the median line is going to be about the middle. I'm going to draw all these loops, and if it's a compression wave, it needs to have an area that's compressed, and an area that's a little more spread out. I'm actually going to have to draw that one again. It's not very good. You guys may have to draw it again, that's fine. Maybe draw it first in pencil, trace over it in marker. Alright, so let's try this again. So I'm going to make my beginning part the part that's more compressed. And in the middle I got one area that's spread out. And then I'll have another compression here at the end. Okay. So when you draw this guy, again you're going to label the parts. So what's this spaced out area in the middle here called? What's this space that's a little closer together called? And then I want you to actually measure the amplitude after you draw the wave. Right? And the way you'll do that is you measure this space from one close area to the next. Alright, and you should know what that area is called. Okay, so the areas that are close together are called something. So you need a measure between there, and that's going to be your amplitude. And that tells you how much energy this wave has by how close the compressions are. The closer the compressions are, the more energy that wave has. The more spread out they are. So if we had another compression wave and its compressions look like this, alright, so this is where it's close together. Well, this wave here has less energy than this one because its compressions are more spread out. Alright, and then the last thing you need to do, sorry, that was first block student of the week a while ago. Let me erase this. Last thing you need to do is on the back fold page, you got 4 questions you need to answer. So you can just write 1, 2, 3, 4. And you don't have to write the questions, just write the answers. Alright, the questions are on your sheet of paper, but I'll go ahead and read them to you. So number 1, all mechanical waves must move through a what? So what do mechanical waves have to move through? You write the answer right here. Alright, number 2, what are some common mediums for mechanical waves to move through? So you write that right here. Number 3, what is an example of a wave? So just give me an example. And number 4, what is a difference between a transverse wave and a compression wave? So you write that right there. Alright. Then the other thing you need to put on your back, on the back fold, is just your name. So write your name in the top right corner. Then when you turn it in, I know who's in it. These are going to be due on Monday, guys. You should have plenty of time to finish it today. If not, you can finish it over the weekend. Turn it into me on Monday. If you finish it today, I'm going to turn it in. Obviously, if you have questions, video didn't make sense, just ask me and I'll help you. All right, guys.